Are you looking to make more money in 2019? And you're trying to figure out what are those best methods for a side hustle? See how this hustler made over $32,000 in 1 year, or how she made over $36,000, or even better, how he made over $360,000. Guys, there's a lot more to talk about. I'm gonna go into detail of how these people made that kind of money and how you can make that kind of money too if you've got that hustler spirit. Hey, it's Trey from Money Growth Academy, where we demystify entrepreneurship, simplify business strategies, and multiply your earnings. Guys, today we're gonna talk about 10 side hustles, and we're gonna talk about some new ones and some working ones. Unlike a lot of the other channels out there that have these kind of videos, a lot just have the same old content. So I'm gonna throw some new, fresh ones in here for you guys. You're gonna wanna look for all of those and pay attention to each one and the details that I give in them, because it'll tell you exactly how you can make that kind of money. Let's see which one you like the most. All right, number one is Upwork. It's a site for freelancers to be hired. So if a company is looking for, maybe someone to do SEO or logo creation or video production, they could jump onto Upwork. They can type in, video production, and it will give them a list of people that can produce video for them, or people who can produce, logos or design or do SEO for their company. Now, this is a site that I use myself when I'm trying to hire someone to do something that I don't want to do. So if it's SEO or if it's a social media ad, I'll hire people who are very skilled from here to do that work. Now, this is a great way to make extra money, because if you already have this knowledge or this skill, or if you already work for a company that does logo work, or a company that does SEO, but you want to make some cash on the side and maybe split off and build your own business, this is a great place to start, guys. Because what you can do here is you can choose the projects that you want to work on. That's the beauty of Upwork. You can choose if you want to take a client's project or not. The other thing I love about Upwork is the pay, and this is why I'm recommending this in this hustle series here, is because the pay is very high. You can charge these people a lot of money if you have a skill. And guys, I'm serious. You can do sales and marketing if you know how to write copy, SEO, translation, logo creation, photography, video production, web and mobile design, Facebook or social media ads. I mean, they have a whole list of things that you can do in so many different verticals, and I guarantee you guys know at least one of these things. So you can charge people to do this service for them. The other great thing is you can literally work from anywhere. So you can lay in your bed and do these projects, guys. So the reason I put this on here is because the high pay, you can work from anywhere, you can choose the projects, and also, you have the ability to really figure out how to start a business, how to get moving with clients. And the best part is the clients come to you on this platform, so you don't have to go out and hunt for those clients. So check out Upwork. All right, number two is Turo. It's a car sharing platform. Now, you guys have heard of Uber, you've heard of Lyft, and you can make some great money on those. So those are also options as well, but there's a lot of videos done on that. But Turo allows people to rent out their personal car for money, which is cool. So if I'm going to San Francisco, I can hop on Turo and I can check out cars out there. So rather than going to Enterprise or Alamo or Dollar Rental, I could just rent a car from a person. And a lot of times you can do it cheaper and you can get a lot nicer vehicles. So this is a thing to check out if you have, a car sitting around in your driveway, or there's certain days of the week that you don't drive, that you could rent your car out to people to share. Now, guys, it's really simple. It takes honestly about 10 minutes to set up a profile. You need a driver's license, you list your car, you take some photos, and you get to set your calendar. And then once you set that, you can set your rules. So essentially you can say, no smoking in the car, no pets. You can set a whole host of things that you want done. Bring the car back with a full tank of gas. And it allows you to confirm trips. So much like how Airbnb works, with this platform, you can choose if you want someone to drive your car or not, because you can see ratings on that driver. So if that's a crappy driver, you probably don't want them driving your car. So it's really cool in that it lets you do that. And then they also give you data and analytics to tell you what you should have and price your car. So if you're not sure how to price your vehicle to be rented out, it will tell you based on the city you're in, the time of year, all those kind of things. The data will tell you more so in your market what you can charge. And the great thing with this is you can earn between 65% to 85% of the trip price depending on the vehicle protection plan you choose. So there's different levels, so the less insurance that you take from Turo itself, obviously the more money you'll make, but the more risk you're at. But still, there's good margins in here to make money. And the car's covered up to $1 million in liability insurance, protection for damage and theft, and they also have 24/7 road assistance if something were to happen to the vehicle, or if a tire popped or something broke down. So this could start as a side hustle and can honestly turn into a full-time real job. And there's a lot of people that have been doing this, especially people in destination cities. So Samaya, she's on YouTube. I'll put her channel down in the link or up here somewhere. But she went from passive income to an actual business with this. I mean, she's got over 1,437 trips that have been taken in her vehicles. She's got essentially, let's call it a fleet. She's got over 13 plus cars and some exotic cars. I know she does Corvettes and Slingshots and BMWs, all kinds of cars, but she's really made a business out of this side hustle and kind of figured out how to scale it and automate it, which is something that you can do. And like I said, if you live in a big city or a destination city, you might want to check this out because a lot of people go vacation into San Francisco, to Denver, to Miami, to all these areas, LA, and they're looking for cars to rent. And especially around holiday times, guys, this is where you can make some great money on this because a lot of rental car places are booked. The cars are gone. So you could charge some seriously high rates and get your car rented out. And in the meantime, if you don't need that car, might as well be making some money on it and set the rules so the car is taken care of very well. All right, number 3 is Handy or TaskRabbit. And this is an awesome platform. The way it essentially works is it's a service platform. So if I'm looking to move and I want to hire someone to help me move, I could hop onto either of these sites and I can type in, moving, and I can put in my location and it will pop up a list of individuals in that location that can help me move. And I would pay those individuals, essentially private movers, to come to my home and help me pack and move my boxes. So it's really cool because there's a whole bunch of home services on here like cleaning, moving, furniture assembly, heavy lifting, home improvement, painting, yard work, mounting TVs, hanging pictures. So if you've got that gene in you to be a handy man or a handy woman, this might be the job for you. And it's awesome if you love working with your hands and actually physically doing stuff. Now, you'd be surprised how many people are willing to pay for this kind of work to be done. I mean, it's just kind of, a lot of people get irritated with doing things like hanging pictures, for example. I'm sure you've all done that, but someone will pay you to do that for them. Now, this works great if you live in a zip code, in a wealthy zip code, or you're close to an area with a wealthy zip code. Because a lot of times, those people value their time a lot more than their money. And so they're willing to pay for these services to be done. So if you have, your Saturdays off or your Fridays off or whatever workday you have off, and you have a skill that you can do, whether it's painting or, just hard labor of moving stuff or assembling furniture, you could list yourself to work on projects and get hired and paid to do that kind of stuff. So it's a pretty cool one. Like I said, it's a cool one if, you're handsy and you like to actually physically do stuff. All right, number 4 on the list is Airbnb. And I'm sure you guys have heard of this or you've even used it, but I'm gonna talk about it because you can make some good money with this, guys. And you don't need a home to do it. So you can list your space, whether it's a shared living room, a small bedroom, a basement room, a second home or vacation rental. It's just about being able to share that space. And depending where you are, you can get away with renting, a shared living room or a tiny room for a lot of money. So the cool thing about Airbnb, and the reason I put it on this list as a side hustle, is because while you're doing your regular work or your main hustle, you could be making money off this. So it's kind of borderlines with being a passive income source. So the cool thing is you can set your schedule, the prices, and you can set the rules to really qualify who's coming into your space. And you can accept qualified guests, which is really cool because you get to leave reviews and they get to leave reviews on you. Another thing that takes a lot of worries away for people and makes this viable is that there's $1 million protection for property damage, $1 million for liability insurance, and 24 assistance through Airbnb. This is a great side hustle, especially if you live in a destination city like New York, San Francisco, or LA. And you'll have to check the rules because all those cities have kind of cracked down on Airbnb. The other thing that you can do is if you live near an event that's taking place, so like South by Southwest or Coachella, guys, you can make some great money, or in an area where there's big conventions. A lot of those hotels in those regions, when those events come, get sold out. So if you have a space available that you can rent someone, whether it be a room or just even a bed, people will pay some great money to stay in locations during those events because the hotels are probably sold out or they're very overpriced. So you can make some great money charging a little bit less than a hotel for these events. And guys, just to show you that these side hustles can turn into serious businesses, Sean here in 2017, he made $360,738 from Airbnb. In 2018, he doubled what he was making, and he now makes about $100,000 a month. So this is a side hustle that can seriously be scaled up into a real business if that's the route you want to go. All right, number 5 is host an experience on Airbnb. Now this is really cool, guys, because now to hustle on Airbnb, you don't actually need a home or a property. All you have to do is be able to lead people on activities you already love and do. So you get to sell experiences to people. So do you have any skills, hobbies, or expertise? Do you live in a great city or destination city where a lot of tourists come? This is a great one for you, and you get to schedule your own terms, price, group size, dates, or any other restrictions that you want. Now, the cool thing is they handle the processing, provides 24-hour customer service, $1 million in liability insurance, so that can cover a lot of worries for you being a host. And the cool thing that I like about this is you get to meet new, exciting people. People doing trips like this are pretty cool people in general. So you get to meet cool people, build new connections. And what I really love about this is, for example, if you wanted to offer surf lessons to someone, this gives you a great opportunity to test out, could I build a viable business around surfing? Could I build a viable business around what I love, which is teaching surf lessons? So this is a really cool place to see if your business can actually scale. And the cool thing with this is it's not just tourists coming to your city. People within those cities actually use these services. But something Airbnb notices, especially tourists, love this addition here of, experiences, being able to choose experiences when they go on vacation, because for every dollar that's spent in accommodations, $3 is spent on the experiences that take place during that vacation. So guys, this is a great one, especially like I said, if it's already something you love and you already do. So, on the weekends, if you love surfing or rock climbing, you can just take someone out with you and get paid to do those things and get paid essentially to hang out with someone, which is really cool. The cool thing about this as well is it's limitless experiences. I've seen things from people that own wolf dogs, taking people on walks in the mountain with their wolf dogs. I've seen surf lessons, pottery, bird watching, yoga. There's so many things you can do. For example, I live in Utah, which is a great place to be during the winter because of the snowboarding and skiing, and a great place to be during the summer because of the mountains and all the activities that you can do outdoors. So the things that I could do, and this is just a tiny list that I put together real fast, is I could take someone skiing or snowboarding. I could take them to the resort, show them the best trails to do. I could take someone rock climbing. I love to rock climb, I could take someone fly fishing, show them how to fly fish, which rivers to go to. I could do kayaking. I own, a whole bunch of kayaks, so I could take someone kayaking, a whole family, honestly. I could do ATV and UTV trips. There's all kinds of things that you can do to make money, guys. It really is limitless. This is one of the coolest ones that I've seen on there. One, because you get to meet the cool people. You get paid very well. And it's cool because say you can't do a side hustle during the regular day of the week, but on the weekends you have that day off and you like rock climbing anyways or surfing anyways. Get paid to take people with you. It's a really cool one. Check it out. Number 6 is neighbor. This is a really cool one. If you've got a driveway, a garage, a backyard, a shed, a storage room, a basement room, an attic, there's so many things that you can do with this. But if you've got an open space, you can essentially rent out that space for people to store stuff with you. What these guys at Neighbor noticed is, U-Haul and other community storage centers charge exorbitant amounts of money to store stuff there. And if you've ever had to do that, you know that it costs a lot of money. So what this allows is people to make a passive income and also for people to find a place to store their possessions at a lower rate than a U-Haul, for example. Now, this is awesome in college towns when kids are getting ready to leave college, but they're coming back the next semester. They can store stuff at your home, temporarily. Or if you live in a city, in a small, apartment or something, and you needed to store your stuff, this would be a great one. So there's a lot of people that use this service and that can benefit from it. So if you've got space, guys, really check out Neighbor because you can make some great money on it. I know people who live by lakes can make some serious money with this for people to store their boats, in their backyard or in their side driveway or RVs and stuff like that. So you can make a lot of money doing this and you don't have to do anything. Literally anything. It's passive income. It just sits there and you collect, a payment every single month. And it's simple to list your space. The verification, you go through a verification, both parties do. You set the rules, host guarantee of $1,000 for property damage, so they take care of you there. And like I said, it's literally passive income. It gets put there by the people and it stays there. So I checked up on myself to see how much I could make in my basement for an empty room that I have. And I can make $629 a year from listing an empty room in my basement. Guys, that's some awesome money. What could you do with an extra $629? Probably a lot of cool stuff with that. It's a good little side hustle, especially if you have open space, so check out Neighbor. So number 7 is clothing apps to sell clothing. So this is a great one if you have an interest in clothes or you're fashionable, or if you just got a lot of clothes in your closet that you need to get rid of. So using apps like Poshmark or Mercari, those are kind of the really two popular ones out there. You can sell gently used clothes, shoes, purses, all kinds of objects. Now Mercari allows you to sell toys and a little bit more things like electronics, but we won't talk about that because I know more about Poshmark and it's a little more niche specific, which I think is good. It's really easy to create a profile and get started. They send you prepaid labels, which is awesome. And all you have to do is go pick up free bags from USPS, put the label on the bag, put your clothing in there and ship it out, and it's all done. And you collect some money at the end of the month. So my wife's used Poshmark, her sister, friends, and I know a lot of other people have used it as well. And I know some people have made some serious money doing it. So Karen from Thrifty Flamingo, she made over $36,000 in 1 year with Poshmark, guys, with selling clothes. So there are also multiple girls on there. If you just type in Poshmark on YouTube, you'll find tons of girls making well over $1,000 a month on Poshmark selling gently used clothes, which is really cool. To make serious money with this side hustle, it all hinges on your ability to find great deals and then resell them at a higher value. So a great thing that you can do is check thrift stores. But guys, here's the tip with this one. Don't go to just any thrift store. Check for the thrift stores in wealthy zip codes and you'll know which areas those are in. Go to the thrift stores like a Savers or a Goodwill, something like that, in a very wealthy neighborhood, because a lot of times they're going to have a lot better clothing because the people in those areas, buy more expensive clothing. So you can buy it cheap and then resell it a lot higher than what you bought it for. And you can go to outlet stores. When outlet stores are having big clearances, you can go there, pick up a lot of clothing, make sure it's seasonal, and then you can sell it and make some great money. So check out Poshmark if you're into fashion at all, or if you have an eye for catching deals when it comes to clothing. So number 8 is scooter charging. Now, if you live in a city, you've seen Lime and Bird everywhere, literally everywhere. Well, people ride those all over the place and the batteries die out. Someone's got to recharge those at the end of the day. So Lime and Bird will actually pay independent contractors to go out there and pick those scooters up, take them home to their residence, and charge them at their homes, guys. So, and the cool thing is they'll send you the charger for it as well. And you can make $150 a day doing this. There's a guy out there making $2,000 a week, and I'm sure there's people making a lot more than that doing this. But you need to factor in with this one your time and your gas that goes into doing this. And I wouldn't make this one a full-time gig, but it's a great side hustle that can put a little extra money in your pocket, whether you do it on the weekends or at night when you get off work or something. And you're going to want a vehicle for this. I've seen people pick them up and carry them. That's too much of a hassle. I've seen people try to put them on all one scooter and ride them. I think this works best if you already have a vehicle. And the cool thing that you can do with this one, a little cheat, is you can use this as study time. So the time that you go out there to pick them up, put in, your AirPods or whatever, your headphones, and listen to podcast or learn something as you're doing this task. And it can work as a cheat because it's a way to stay focused and have to listen to that podcast as you're doing this work. So you can check that one out if you guys want. Number 9 is reselling books. Now, guys, there's a great market for this. And just to prove this, I've got all kinds of books back here, books on shelf cases back there. I love to read. I read about 3 books a month. And if you can imagine going through that many books, books are anywhere between 15 to 25 bucks, maybe some even more, 35 bucks, depending on the book, but they can be very expensive when they're new. So if you can find used books, you can resell those to people. So most of the books that I have back here, I've actually bought used. I either buy them used on Amazon or I buy them from thrift stores. So guys, there's a great market out there. And when I buy my books at thrift stores, such as, a Savers or something, I'm buying them for around $1 a piece, $1.50. So you could go out there, buy those kind of same books that are in demand, and then resell them on places like Amazon. Some people are making some serious money. Like Rake and Profit is making $2,000 a year from selling books, guys, from selling used books that he's picking up for $1, sometimes less than $1, sometimes pennies, and he's reselling those on places like Amazon. How much money you can make on this really depends on your location. So for me, for example, I live in a region where I've got 3 universities within a 25-mile radius of me, which means the thrift stores here are loaded with textbooks. And as you guys know, if you've been to school, textbooks are expensive, and you can resell them at places like Chegg or Amazon. There's all kinds of places you can sell them, or Facebook Marketplace. So I can make a lot of money selling textbooks, for example. So just kind of check out what region you're in, whether there's great books there or not. And there's a lot of tools out there like Book Scouter to search for the ISBN number, which will tell you exactly how much that book can resell for and kind of what the going rate is in the competition. And there's also scanners out there that you can download and pay for that will tell you, how much this book's selling on Amazon, or how, what's the price margin on that, what's the demand for this book, which is really cool. So that's something you guys can check out if you're into books. So number 10 is flipping items. Now, if you've seen Gary V's series called Trash Talk, you know what I'm talking about. So he goes to a yard sale, spends 75 bucks, and then sells all the stuff that he bought for 1,000 bucks on eBay. So you're basically just upselling stuff that you've bought at yard sales or thrift stores. So you can make some great money doing this. But here's a little word of caution for it. You don't want to go out and just buy, anything out there. Really try to find a niche to buy in, whether that's clothing or shoes or, motorcycle gear or whatever it might be, and you might be more successful with this one. Ray is the entrepreneur. He talks about how he was really struggling to make money online with his eBay, trying to do this kind of thing that Gary Vee does, going to yard sales. He was having a really complicated time doing that. But then he started to kind of focus in on a niche, which was just clothing. He was just going to sell clothing. And the next thing you knew, he started to see some sales come in. So focus on a niche if you're going to do this one, guys. And there's some great opportunities for profit here. And also, you can look for free items on Craigslist. So you can make 100% profit on an item. So I know some people that what they'll do is they'll get on Craigslist or Facebook Marketplace and they'll look for free items, especially furniture. And if it's wood, they'll get those items from that person, pick it up for free. They'll sand it down, repaint it or restain it, and then sell it pure profit for $100 or more. And they can make some great money doing this, just kind of smacking it up and making it look fresh and new. So that's a cool way you guys can make some money, is reselling items, especially if you can get those items for free. If you guys liked all these side hustles, you're going to want to check out this video right here on how to make $100 a day on YouTube and how a guy's made over $100,000 with one video, never having to step in front of a camera and not needing any camera equipment. So check out that video. Also, hit that subscribe button, guys, so you guys can see more videos like this. See you guys later.